Welcome to Soulful Conversations, the podcast that highlights stories of individuals sharing various life experiences and challenges. We showcase strength and resilience found in everyday experiences. So get ready to be inspired, informed, and entertained as we dive into topics with wit, wisdom, and a whole lot of soul. This is your space to laugh, learn, and connect with two fabulous women making a difference. So grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's dive in together to this soulful conversation with Shar and Miko.
To be honest, I had to grow from 1,000 no's,
Mm,
right? I had to get 1,000 no's to get one yes, you
Mm,
know? So the support here is diluted, right?
ooh,
Because it's like a never ending story here. It seemed like, the people that I'm supposed to go to get the support is the people that I need to complain on. That
mm,
is
gotcha,
the dangerous people. You see what I'm saying? So
gotcha.
this little fish tank that we in,
mm-hmm,
right? We have people that's in positions
mm-hmm.
and either they knew
Hierarchy.
about it,
The gatekeepers. The
yeah,
The
gatekeepers.
either
Yeah,
hierarchy.
they
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
knew about it, or because it's still confusing. Every day that I wake up, I'm still like, okay, I'm still trying to understand it. Just like today, I got a call from a radio show. You guys see calling me, but nobody's holding these people accountable. I'm done with my story, right?
Mm,
Go
Right.
deep dive, right? And go and get behind the people that put, why don't nobody know all players that put this together? Why does not know nobody? But
yeah.
they made sure that they had budgets. They made sure that money went everywhere. How and why?
And this
Why?
is to the okay, so you're telling me that this CHOP, this organized supposed protest that they had set up this 16-mile or 16 block radius, that it was funded by someone and nobody knows an answer? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying too?
they
Wow.
said Black Lives Matter, right?
Mm,
Which they could have been. But when we get to talking about that and we're people of color, why do we have to put on a protest to matter when we matter? Why will we
mm.
allow our culture and our lives to be capitalized on whatever that was down there? Because nothing about if it was black, it happened. My son was murdered June 20th. June
Mhm.
19th is the last day of our Juneteenth.
Right.
Why would we ever be down there doing? Why wasn't it leaders, right? And then everybody now that my son got murdered is silent. So you ain't gonna know who's who and what's what because they know that people. There's some people that can be still get in some trouble, right, for
Of
this. So
course. Of
why
course.
we didn't see nothing down there? Why was all them leaders, every one that I've heard, all these big names. Oh, I was down there. Well, when you tell me you was down there, what were you there for? To add to the layer of chaos? Because
Right.
I didn't hear one person say that there was a civilized leader or trying to support young black men, giving them the education on what Juneteenth was, giving them an education on what our culture. Just it was nothing about saving lives. It was all about I can't tell you. I can't tell you what it was all about because at
Right.
the end of the
Yeah.
day,
It
you know,
sounds like it was about discord and keeping the emotions high,
Hi.
keeping the drama going, keeping the energy dark and just demonic
And
almost. You know what
people
I'm
on
saying? It was
edge.
just yeah,
yeah,
because when you have that kind of dynamic and nothing positive is coming out of it, you best believe on the other side it's going to be all negative. And the sad thing is, a young man lost his life because of this, because of this community that failed. They
Mm,
were out there for what George Floyd and the pandemic and these other things, but
mhm.
someone else is losing their life in the process. So we got to do better, people. We as a community, as just mothers, as just advocates in this world, we have to do better. We can't keep failing these young people and ourselves. We
right.
got to
But how do
speak
we
up.
do that, right? When you say as mothers, right?
Mhm.
And so when I see mothers and leaders in the same room, but nobody gets along, It's a
Oh,
problem.
it's a
That's a
That's a
problem.
big
problem,
problem.
right?
That's a huge problem.
That's the ingredients for a whole infected. If we trying to bake a cake, the cake is poison. If we trying to,
Big-
I mean, it's infected, right? And like the other day, I went to a thing because I haven't been invited, right? Everybody used my son's name and capitalized and was able to get prevention for gun violence and intervention for gun violence, but they never ever speak. We speak on George Floyd, but we don't speak on what had Horst Lorenzo or Deontay or Pickett or everybody else that happened here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like we so worried about what's happening in somebody else's house and yard, other than what's happening now, and that's why we're losing. That's why we're falling through the cracks, right? So
Right.
when it comes to support, everybody's a gatekeeper. Not
Okay, so
one.
let me ask you this question. Do
Yeah.
you think that each state should govern instead of like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that do you think that each state should govern their own dilemmas? So, like, you know how the United States, oh, let's send this money over to another country. Let's, do you think that Washington, this is Washington's issue, they need to deal with it. This is Texas issue, they need to deal. Like, do you think that each state should govern their own issues?
Well, so when I wrote my writ assertory to United States Supreme, that's what they wrote back, right? They want to be able to govern that. And the thing is this, if we can't handle it, no. See, we can't have gatekeepers, and that's the reason why there's levels to moving forward in Supreme. That's why we go there, because we have not been able to govern her, right? And been able to handle the situations that we friends of a friend, right? People, if I owe the lawyer and the judge owe each other one, so I'm gonna let this case go through. Why I'm gonna hold you to the Bowen's case. Bowen's case is important too, but what happened up at CHOP should have been most definitely important too, but it wasn't.
Absolutely, somebody lost their life. Your son.
You see, and then not just my son. What about the 2 other kids that lost their life right after the next day? And then that's when they shut it down, right? So it wasn't. It's like they did some contradicting words. They said conflicted. It was like, oh, we were scared to go in, but as soon as that other kid got killed, they shut it down in a matter of minutes, and they wasn't planned, right? But then you got our chief, right, that was a Black African American at the time, and I'm not trying to just bad talk. When your community helped you get in this position, because them white folks was not, they didn't welcome her with open arms. You remember that we had to. We had to vote. We had to put up a fuss, right, about why people look like us need to be in these positions. But then when you get in the position, you don't stand up for us. She never reached out once, right? You're a woman of color, and I'm tired of saying that. But you're a mother. You're a woman. Yeah. Why would you not reach out to me? And then you step down to save your
what, her reputation? What?
Not the reputation, because that's destroyed, right? God's children, we're gonna see through that. So her pension, she stepped down to save her benefits, right? She stepped down to save her benefits. And then I didn't make the call. Okay, why you ain't saying who made the call? Why are you not holding somebody accountable? Why are you gonna go to the grave with this secret? But you want me to respect you, right? Then we got the mothers of accountability, right? Everybody's friends. After I got through watching, I'm my own son's investigator, so I'm watching everything, right? Just like the young man that murdered him, I watched him for so long, right? His family, I couldn't find him. I said, I know how I'm gonna get him. That one's gonna show me it, because money. All you gotta do is highlight a little bit.
Follow
money
the trail.
You hear me?
Follow the money. Follow the money.
And
so that Mothers of Advocacy, is that some type of support group that you could link up with, or is it toxic and not okay as well?
But let's bring up really quick. Ms. Martin here has her own nonprofit foundation. Yes.
Yes, we got us moms.
Thank you. And there's ways to support We'll put the links in the comments on the video, how you could reach out and support her foundation. We got us moms. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube channel. Find us on Patreon, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook. And then I just wanted to move right into the kids, your living children. How have they navigated your emotions and their emotions through the loss of your son?
Truthfully, it's been a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with depression.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my baby went from straight A's and B's to barely walking.
Mm.
You know, they don't understand it, right? I
Yeah.
could tell that they're in fear,
Yeah.
but then they gotta keep this image, so they can save their face around a community that don't really like them and love them. I mean, I'm honestly afraid that I don't want what happened to my son happen to them because his friends took him there, people that he thought loved him.
Right.
So my kids is dealing with just a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And right now, I ended up having us all in one home, so I can
Mm-hmm.
know where my babies is at, right?
Yeah.
Because who am I supposed to trust in the state of Washington right
Right.
now?
Right. So you just basically, from this incident, it just created anxiety, a
Yeah.
big, huge anxiety for you and your family.
Well, it actually it did a lot of things. It
Mm-hmm.
as well as it destroyed, it
Mm-hmm.
rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm.
not going to
Yeah.
say that it didn't have some confidence and some self awareness and some self esteem that came with this, right? Being in that dark place, but it most definitely tore. I mean, to be honest, everything had to get for me. They
Mm.
still working on where they're trying to go, right? And I'm trying to be the positivist, the most positive role model for them. But my kids think that I'm trying to help community heal and trust community. And the only reason I do help and work with our community is so it don't happen again, right? So everybody won't be in a whole bunch of pain, fear, and anger and having dealt with it where it's easy to destroy you, right? So my kids, there was an opportunity where I was trying to get them some therapy. They didn't trust it, so it's just when they're
When they're
ready,
ready.
the opportunity will be there, for them. But who do you when it comes to therapy? Who do you trust out of Washington? Who do you
Mm-hmm.
trust here, right? You want us to trust Harvard View? The Harvard View is the same place that wouldn't tell me where my son is, but they asked to donate his eyes within an hour. I mean,
Jesus.
it was just told, the disrespect, right? And not being funny, but our leaders need to be restored, reframed, right? Rebuilt, right? People, not just saying ours, the leaders today. Have you dealt with your pain, your fear, your anger? Have you dealt with your trauma, your childhood trauma? Instead of trying to hand the heal somebody else, make sure you healthy, right? Make sure that your household is right and your bills and you stable, right? And you ain't getting beaten, you ain't lying, and you ain't selling and dealing, right?
Yeah.
After hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because how you
Mm-hmm.
gonna call a spade when you really a joker? You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Wow.
like,
Well said. Well said.
I mean, honestly, because
Right.
it's been a lot of lies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm honestly thankful that my kid. I'd rather for my kids to be, and it's not, and I'm saying this the honestest way. I'd rather for them to be in their room in that depression to then go out and deal with people that call themselves helping to put them in a worse situation to hurt them even more.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, I've been dealing with mines by myself. Like when I come in this room, I deal with it. Isolate. To be honest, isolation. Right. I talk to you, huh?
So I'm gonna ask you, and then Nico. I want you to get into some stuff too. But I wanted to ask you. So, how are you coping with the grief daily? How are you navigating this pain?
You know what, Shar? To be honest, as I'm on the fourth year, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's getting better because now I'm back working. So by me being a medical case manager, me having other people that depend on me helps me look forward to getting up and helping our community. But the other mothers, we depend on
Mm-hmm.
each other. you know,
Awesome.
and with no funding, right? So it's real.
Right.
We, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes one of us got to pay for us, and sometimes we go down. You know, it just all
Right.
depends. But we find time at the water. We walk. You know, when I had my organization, when I had funding, you know, I would take them to get massages. Like I took them 9 of them to. We met Joe Biden. We went to Washington D.C. You know, but how did my moms when I took them there, how did they come back? We bonded and built a relationship, but did he shake our hand? Did he value us? Absolutely not. We was just a black face to save their funding. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So honestly, we're tired of that, right? We're tired of people capitalizing on gun violence, but they know nothing about it, right?
Right.
They know zero about it. They don't know the first hand. It's more than a war, right? Get deep dive, you know what I'm saying, and ask us what it is that we need. Counseling is so important. We don't need to be going through no eligibility, right? When we done been stripped.
Thank you.
You know, offer those opportunities for at least a year, right? So
At least at a bare minimum.
So we could get back up, right? But when money's involved and people, some of my mothers have not been back to work at all. So you know how many 30 days and challenges. So how many rents I done paid and light bills. And what about tombstones? What about people that still don't even know, all they remember is the spot where their kid is. There's no, you know, tombstone or stuff. Some of them
memorial or something like that.
Nothing, right? Because they already was going through something before this tragedy happened. So this just added more BS on top of what they already going through. You know,
and if you could just give us the name of your organization one more time, because this is so important and it's touching my heart I could just see your transparency and feel your pain. So I know this is still.
It's called We Got Us Moms.
Okay, and how can we
sure to put
locate you guys? And
okay, I can send it. Like I'm not all that good with the computer shit, y'all, but I'm getting there. So I'll send it.
No worries. This is organic, babe. So this is how the rawness it is. So.
I appreciate
I
that.
had to choke back some tears.
Right. No, absolutely. and be having to, you know. And so just like when the first day that, you know, highlighting the mothers, it wasn't about the gift cards and all the gifts that I gave them, but it was I wanted them to know that they ain't alone, right? And they don't have to go through this journey. When y'all probably see people's light on 2, 3, 4 in the morning, they up. Where everybody else sleeping in peaceful.
Can't sleep.
We can't, nah. And if it's a cold case, we still looking. We being detectives because we want answers, right? Or what about a mother that got a child convicted, but his family is threatening them? You know, why my mom's is in fear. And when we reach out to organizations as opposed to, there's no way that I would reach out to the city of Seattle, the mayor and them's office, and ask them to help. Forget funding. Help this mom be safe, right?
Thank you.
She's still in the same spot. So it's just, when I see city officials, we catching flights and not feelings, and, you know, or a city, and I make sure I screenshot it, right? Or I really have a city official say, nobody in the city likes you. Well, they don't know me to not like me, but where is that energy?
You said a city official said to you, nobody in the city likes you.
Yeah.
Out their mouth?
Out their mouth. And some of the texts, I got some of the I got you know me, I got it now, I got to keep my little receipts and stuff. I gotta have receipts.
Right.
How do you say that, right?
I don't know.
When I reached out, the sad, he reached out to me. I didn't call him. He called me over numerous of times.
Thank you for listening to Soulful Conversation. We hope you enjoyed tonight's Soulful Conversation. Be sure to stay connected with us during the week through our weekly podcasts on Spotify, our YouTube channel, Patreon, and social media. And don't forget to send in those soulful requests to be heard on the podcast at info@soulful-conversation.com. Again, thanks for listening to Soulful Conversation. I'm your host, Shar the Star, and my fabulous co-host, Nico, the Moonlight.